Once every 4 years, there arrives a great feast. That is to say, a feast of football. 4 years ago, it was in Qatar, as Argentina defeated France in one of the most thrilling games in the history of this great sport. Now, it arrives in North America. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is about to get underway as we bring you the opening match between Mexico and South Africa. We pause now for the national anthems. "48 teams, 12 groups of 4, and we bring you the opening match of Group A. This is, interestingly enough, this is a direct rematch of the opening match of the 2010 FIFA World Cup. Mexico and South Africa went to a 1-1 draw all the way back 16 years ago, and now it's a bit of a return leg. That one was in Johannesburg, of course, and now we are at one of the most iconic stadiums in the entire world, the Estadio Azteca. Tens of thousands have come out here to Mexico's national stadium to witness the beginning of the largest World Cup in history. This will be 5 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, 5 weeks of football action featuring 48 of the best teams in the entire world. And this is just day one. This is just match one. South Africa, as we can see here, lining up in a 4-2-3-1 formation as we get a look at the rosters of the starting 11 and the substitutions of both sides here. And with that, we are just seconds away from kickoff. The three-nation bid for the 2026 World Cup was awarded all the way back in, I believe, 2017. 9 years of preparation. And now we are here with the opening match taking place at the Estadio Azteca in Mexico City. Away we go between Mexico and South Africa. The South Africans are going to start off with the ball here. South Africa wearing yellow and green. Mexico wearing green and white. A beautiful kit that the Mexican side is wearing here. We're going to get into that in a bit. Raul now perhaps looking for a chance. Romo. Quinones is going to shoot. He'll rattle the post holding up the net as we take a look at Javier Aguirre, but more on Mexico's kit. It's one of the most innovative shirts in this whole World Cup. Mayan calendar, Aztec mythology theme. I really do think it's just a beautiful, beautiful kit. As we're back underway, South Africa now advancing rapidly into Mexico's half of the pitch. Fidalgo, however, is going to move in and get an interception. Alvarado moving up towards the box, looking to set something up here. Raul takes the shot, but Williams gets the easy catch. Now South Africa take possession once again. Quinones for Mexico now. Gallardo to Alvarez. Vasquez. Montes. Reyes. Mexico trying to find their way through here. Quinones gets it to Gallardo. Alvarez. Gallardo again. Romo to Raul. Now there's going to be a chance. Fidalgo takes the shot. Williams is able to make the save. As we take a look at this, it would have been offside anyways. And with this shot, we just get a look at how massive this stadium truly is. The Estadio Azteca, which was the host of the 1986 World Cup final. It has been 40 years 40 years since Mexico last hosted the World Cup, and now the premier tournament in the world comes to a country that is truly, truly mad about football. Sibisi will send it to Williams, who will clear this to the center of the pitch. Vasquez to Gallardo now. Player to watch here today is Quiñones, who we saw just a few minutes ago take a shot that rattled one of the posts holding up the net. If you're just joining us, we welcome you into our coverage of the FIFA World Cup here on Ultrasport. Mexico and South Africa battling in the opening match of this great tournament. As Alvarado now passes to Reyes. Mexico trying to find a way through here. Good pressure from South Africa at the moment, but now they're going to find a gap, our Mexico. Raul to Gallardo. Alvarez. Hidalgo. Again, this is a rematch of the 2010 World Cup's opening match. That was, again, a 1-1 draw between these two sides. It's very interesting how the luck of the draw can set things up the exact same way. I'm sure there's some lofty statistical combination thing that would tell you the actual chances of something like that happening, but I'm not a mathematician, so I wouldn't know that off the top of my head, at least. Gallardo got up there to get the touch. Alvarado to Fidalgo as Mexico move closer to South Africa's net. Gallardo to Romo, trying to break through into the box here. Pressure being applied by Bafana Bafana. Modal is going to get the header. Mexico, however, dominating possession in these first minutes of the game. We're coming up to the 20-minute mark here. Of course, just as I say that, South Africa are going to get possession now and try to break through into Mexico's half the pitch, although L3 putting on some pressure as Alvarez takes the interception. Mokoena gets an interception of his own, and the ball back with South Africa now as Swane moves into the opposite half of the pitch. Modiba now to Mokoena. Apolis. Sibisi. Yaya. Apolis. Back to Yaya. Moremi. South Africa have not had a shot close to the goal thus far in this game, I believe. But they may have a chance now. Yaya to Zwane in the box. Who's gonna... Oh! Just missed by a couple of feet there. Could have been a great opening strike to put South Africa into the lead, but luck is on Mexico's side as Vasquez gets in close to clear it away. Mokoena got out in front to take brief possession, but Romo is going to get it back for Mexico. Gallardo back to Romo. Now Vasquez. Gallardo again. Quiñones. Raul. Into the air. Down to the feet of Alvarado, who looks to move to the box here. Alvarado with the cross to Fidalgo. And Mokoena got in there. A bit forceful, but it works. Montez gets up for the immediate header, however, and just like that, the ball is back with Mexico. As I said, the Mexican side seems to be doing a good job of controlling possession here. South Africa have not gotten very many chances. The majority of this match so far has been Mexico in South Africa's end, going back and forth, constantly trying to find their way close to the net. As this goes down to the feet of Alvarado. Now to Alvarez. Mokoena got a brief touch, and that's going to be all they need, South Africa, to get the ball back. Zwane now trying to break through. Sends it to Moremi. Moremi with a bit of pressure. Doesn't go out. Sends it to Modiba now. Yaya to Apolis. Paulus trying to move in, faced heavy opposition there, and Gallardo takes the ball from Mexico as we pass the 30-minute mark. Foster, however, almost had a chance, but Mexico's defense coming in to take possession and prevent the home side here from conceding their first goal. And this is well and truly a home side. There is just an overwhelming sea of green filling out this stadium here in Mexico City. A small corner of South African supporters who have made the trip is somewhere in the upper decks, but it is overwhelmingly Mexico, as one would expect here. Moremi is gonna get in there, and now a chance. Zwane take Would you believe that? We're gonna see this again, and it rattles the net like for the first half of a second. You think it's gone in, and then you realize it's on the outside, and it is no goal. It is still 0-0. Relief for Mexico, but a bit of frustration for South Africa as they try to break through in a game where, again, they haven't had that much time with the ball, at least compared to what Mexico have been doing and are doing right now. Gallardo and Quiñones, Romo to Vasquez. Gallardo. Alvarez from Montes. Romo. Reyes. Montes. Alvarado to Fidalgo. Alvarado again. Reyes. Back to Alvarado. Forced back a little bit, and now Foster is going to be in the right place at the right time. Zwane to Foster. Back and forth. Now to Moremi. And now this is going to set something up. Zwane again looking for a shot. Sends it back to Moremi. And Vasquez is going to step out in front to take possession. Quiñones now, who had the first shot of the match. Passes to Fidalgo in the center circle. Quiñones to Gallardo. Romo. Alvarez. Alvarez and Fidalgo looking to find the gap as we get close to halftime here in the opening match of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Raul to Romo. Now Gallardo. Quiñones. Gallardo. There's the shot, and there is the first goal of this World Cup. Beautiful. Beautiful. And we're gonna see this in first-person view. Lands in the back of the net. Beautiful strike there. And now from third person, there is the first goal of many in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. It is Romo to put Mexico into the lead here in this opening match as we get to the end of the first half here. Just a few minutes to go, but what a way to cap off this first half. Mexico into the lead, 1-0 against South Africa here. And the South Africans now will certainly be looking to play catch-up going into the second half. Zwane. Moremi. Despite that, though, they're going to try for something. Reyes steps in, however, puts an end to that pretty quickly. And that'll take us to 1 minute of stoppage time here before halftime in the opening match of the World Cup. Gallardo to Vasquez. And it looks like that is going to be the end of the first half. Mexico 1, South Africa 0 in the opening match of this World Cup. 45 minutes of action remaining when we come back here on Ultrasport. This match is brought to you by the Ultrasport Store. Go to streamlabs.com/YT_Ultrasport for shirts, hats, and much more, all to support this channel. Thank you. Javier Aguirre's men in the lead, 1-0 as the second half gets underway in this opening match of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Again, the last World Cup match here was 40 years ago. Argentina defeating West Germany 3-2. And listen to this. Listen to this. That is the roar of the Estadio Azteca. We are famously 7,200 feet above sea level. A capacity of 87,523 in the stadium, though with a roar like that, I think there's probably about 90,000. You can fit 3,000 more in the standing room only areas. And they just get there seems to have been maybe a crowd resurgence here with this second half getting underway. Oh my. As Raul got in the way there. Deflection, and now foul to South Africa. Mokoena will send this one flying, but Reyes is going to get out for a header to give Mexico the ball back quickly. Raul to Romo. Fidalgo, Alvarado. CBC gets in there. Zwane now to Foster. Moremi. Foster again. Moremi. Mexico overwhelmingly controlled possession in the first half of this match. And the question remains as to whether that will be the case in the second half. It will certainly be devastating for South Africa if such a thing is the case. But Quiñones now moving up towards the box. Finds Roma, who got that opening goal. And now it's going to be cleared away as South Africa try to re-establish control here deep in their own end. Fidalgo with the header. Romo now to Raul. Alvarez back to Romo. And back and forth here. Gallardo had it for a moment. But South Africa now have taken charge. Apolis to Zwane. Bafana moving up towards the box here. Yaya. Foster. Moremi. Montez got in the way. Reyes will clear this out of the box, but the South Africans are going to retake possession just like that. And so begins the charge once again. Moremi. Mokoena. It's somewhat like Sisyphus and the boulder. South Africa get into the box, get close to the net, and then Mexico clears it away, and they have to do it all over again. Sibisi now to Modiba. And I'm getting reports that there's an injury down on the pitch. Zwane of South Africa has we don't know, we don't have information on what the injury is, but we have been informed of it as we've passed an hour of action in this showdown between South Africa and Mexico. The opening match of Group A, the beginning of the World Cup. Modiba now to Mokoena. Zwane. Moremi. Romo slides in. Beautiful awareness there. Gets possession back here for Mexico. Fidalgo to Montez. Romo. Fidalgo. Romo again. And now Raul. Alvarado. Fidalgo. Oh. Modiba got in there. Yaya is going to keep things going. It's not just a one-off fluke. South Africa established control here as Sibisi Passes to Zwane, who, despite his injury, still seems determined to remain on the field. Yaya to Apolis, and back to Yaya. Mokolena to Apolis once again. Got a little over 20 minutes to play here at the Azteca, as the South Africans will be hoping to start their campaign off with a draw. And again, I want to remind you, this is a rematch of the opening match of the 2010 World Cup. That was a 1-1 draw between Mexico and South Africa. And 16 years later, we have a veritable return leg at the Estadio Azteca as Mexico hosts South Africa. Not just the home team in name, but truly the home team in their national stadium in front of tens of thousands, at least 80,000, maybe closer to 90. Again, the capacity here is 87,523. And now a chance. Montez got in there. Rangel with the save to keep Mexico afloat. But as I was saying, the official capacity here, 87,523 at the Azteca. We don't have the official attendance figures, but I'd wager that it's somewhere over that, at least by a little bit. Because this is truly an event. The 1986 World Cup final, which was also hosted at this stadium, had an attendance of 114,600 as Fidalgo takes the shot. Williams with the save. Fakes a couple of rollouts there, but he should have rolled it, because now Mexico have possession again, and they're threatening here in South Africa's end of the pitch. Romo, Fidalgo, back to Romo. Mexico with 95% passing accuracy here today. South Africa with 90%. As Fidalgo tries to find a way through here, but Mokolena is going to get out ahead. Modiba sends this one into the air to the feet of Maremi. Yaya. Now Foster. Maremi gets there eventually, but can he get into the box? Zwane, Yaya, Fidalgo is going to take it. Cleared away now, Sibisi, and South Africa re-establish possession. As I said towards the beginning of this half, it's like Sisyphus and the boulder. All the way to Mexico's box, hoping for the chance, and then it gets cleared away and they have to start from scratch. Zwane, Mokolena, and they're running out of chances to start from scratch here. As we come closer to full time, Zwane is going to have a chance. And Mexico, once again, able to prevent their opponents from scoring. Reyes to Montes. Alvarez, back to Reyes. Into the air now. Raul to Alvarado. Fidalgo, Quiñones. Raul, Alvarez. Back to Raul. Gallardo, Williams is going to get out. And it looked easy for Quiñones. He was right there. It was set up. Williams with the wherewithal to get out in front and come down on the ball before anything unfortunate could unfold. And now South Africa, with these final few minutes, are going to try and mount one more offensive attack, hoping to take this to a draw, 1 point each, instead of 3 for Mexico and none for Bafana Bafana. Montes to Fidalgo. Alvarado. And as horns honk around the Azteca, this one seems pretty clear-cut. Fidalgo, Reyes, Montes. Scarves going up all around the Azteca as a sea of Mexico fans prepare to celebrate victory here. How much stoppage time will we get? Just a single minute as Mexico take a 1-0 win over South Africa in the opening match of the World Cup. Apolis moving up. One more shot, one more try, but Ronwen makes the catch, and the celebration begins here inside the Azteca. Tricolored flags waving far and wide as Mexico defeats South Africa 1-0 in the opening match of the FIFA World Cup here at the Estadio Azteca. We thank you for joining us as the World Cup has officially gotten underway.